In this video, we're gonna show you how to set and achieve outrageous business goals. So we all have crazy goals, right? We wanna hit $10 million, $100 million, even $1 million, the first 7 figures, right? We all have these outrageous goals, and it's good to have goals because once you have a target, if you fall short, you're gonna ask yourself these important questions on why you fell short in the first place. My very first tip on what you can do is shoot for the stars. If you shoot for the stars, it's okay, you land on the moon. So let's say you go for $2 million, but you haven't even made your first 500,000 yet. Well, you're gonna know why you weren't able to get there in the first place. If at the end of the year, you aren't able to digest or kind of dissect what went wrong and what steps you need to do to fix that, well, that's why you need to set goals in the first place, because if you're gonna set goals, then you're just gonna hit the new year and it's like, okay, oh yeah, we hit this number, on to the next year. You gotta have numbers to aim for. It holds you accountable, and it also holds, if you have people on your team as well, it holds your team accountable too. So you can ask important but uncomfortable questions. It's the uncomfortable stuff that makes companies grow. Second step is, this actually ties in with number 1. So you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon, but you also have a 10x rule as well. If you're aiming for $1 million, why don't you aim for $10 million? Because you just need to do 10x more of whatever it takes to get to the, from going to 1 million to 10 million, right? So the 10x rule actually is from Grant Cardone, and it's about thinking 10 times bigger. If you have this goal of 10 million, why don't you aim for 100 million, right? Just think a lot bigger. Even if you aim for 100 million, you might fall at 30 or 40 million or so, and then, well, that's still okay. That's still a really good result, right? And then you reset the next year. Let's say you hit 40 million, maybe you go for 400 million. Easier said than done, but it's a mindset thing. You gotta have the right mindset in order to hit these business goals, because business is hard. There's people waking up every single day trying to kick your ass, eat your lunch, whatever it is exactly, you have to make your mindset go in the right direction first. So it makes it really easy when you shoot really far and you have these crazy, outrageous dreams, and well, you still end up with a really good result. The third and final tip is to make sure that you try to focus on one goal. And I know a lot of us are trying to do many different things at once, but you look at Apple, when they first started, they started with a Mac. And then they went into the, they have the iTouch, they have the iPad, they have the iPhone as well, they have all these other products. But they started with one product first, and then they transitioned out into doing all these other products, right? Google started with search first, and then you started adding all these other things on. So try to maximize one thing first before you move on to others. I can tell you every single time that I've tried to do multiple projects at once, nothing's really gone that well, because you start to go in all these different directions, you're stretched thin, and you have the circle right here, right? And then you're in the middle of the circle, and then success is on all the edges, and you're just like this. You never reach the edge, right? The edge is like all over the place. You just never reach it because you're trying all these different things. Every single time I've tried to do multiple things at once, it's never gone really well. Focusing on one thing leads to extraordinary results. If you have to have the kind of entrepreneurial ADD, try to just do a maximum of 3, okay? But really just try to focus in on one. And if you need more tips around this, I recommend reading the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. That's one of the founders of Keller Williams, which is their over $1 billion kind of real estate company. So, a guy like that, he knows what he's doing. He knows a thing or two about hitting really big goals. And if you want to hit outrageous business goals, these are the things that you need to do to get there. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.